Hey everybody, welcome back. This is definitely the first time I'm recording this, and not the second, because I absolutely would never leave my mic on mute and record for 14 minutes. So, we're going to do the hero tracker for Fire Emblem Heroes, so you guys have a better idea of what's coming back when, because in a world of FOMO, I am helping you be aware of the future. Yes, that is my job here. So, you can see I'm taking it a little bit different. We've broken things down. I've got upcoming, new, and limited heroes. We've got the legendary, mythic, and emblem heroes, and then we've also got some predictions down there. This is going to be the first section. We're going to have sections for everything that I cover. So let's jump in. This is Legends, Mythics, and Emblems. Run down real quick of who's coming back when. Okay. You will see that Snake Lady is not back until November, just in time for my birthday. Excellent. Love that. Ache Thinir is back in October. Black Knight, September. Spooky scary. Don't love that. Honestly, if you want him, now might be an okay time to get him. If not, I don't think he's necessarily hurting your barracks by not having him in there. Might also be worth noting, he might color share with an upcoming like emblem or legend or something in the future too. So if you're not really vibing the color share, but you also kind of want him, but it's not like an immediate need situation, you could probably wait until September, because the color share may be even better. Who knows? August, we have Erica coming back, as well as Larother, who I haven't pulled yet, but hopefully this video ages really poorly and I have him by now. I hope. And then July, we have Corrin and Hathrin coming back in green, and that fills out green completely, as well as colorless. That only leaves Elm and Ira back in red. Likely to have a new option there. Blue is completely open. And speaking of blue, let's talk about June real quick. The next month we have to worry about, that is, of course, Legendary Sakura's rerun. Probably one of the bigger mistakes Heroes has ever made. You'll also notice that Alir is back as well. But I don't think she's going to be on the banner for what it's worth. I think she's probably just living that Formasoul life. We'll talk about that soon. But it is an engage month next month for Hall of Forms. So it's a little bit suspicious. I think she is likely showing up there. As well as Blue. I don't know what's going on with Blue, man. It could be some like weird combination of maybe they're doing something with emblems. Maybe they're doing something with Book 8. Maybe it has something to do with like a midpoint celebration. Maybe it's another cash grab for a Hero Rises insert random category. I don't know. But there's too many blue heroes, I'll tell you that much. So when you're looking at the prediction down there, which I'll get to in just a second, just know that I have no bloody idea what's going on in blue. Anything I pick there is just for visual representation. And if it happens to be right, you know what? A broken clock is right twice a day, right? So, in terms of upcoming, last month I was, well, this month I almost used an old graphic. Last month I definitely used an old graphic, because Marth is there now. It's been updated for the most part. You can see it's pretty clean now. But Marth is there now too. So technically he is a limited hero. He's not attuned or rearmed or aided. So anybody that comes out like Anniversary Marth will be in that group as well. And you can see where we got placeholders for chapter 8 and 9 of book 9. We're all the way up through Fallen Banner. Still got Hector kind of clinging on for dear life. I'll just point out, since a couple of people have brought it up in some live streams, he's not likely getting rerun because he was so dominant on banners for like the first half of the year that like everybody's kind of hectored out maybe. So yeah, that's ultimately why I think they're kind of pausing on him, because he was in a lot of banners that were taking place for like anniversaries and Horizons and yada yada yada. So he's chilling. He's chilling. He'll he'll get a rerun eventually, but I mean, if you haven't been hectored out of your mind already, Godspeed to you. So that brings us down to the prediction categories in the bottom left, our favorite section. That is where I have the predictions. So in June, we're looking at Roth coming back in red, Noma coming back in green, and then I also have a new emblem down there, and I'm thinking it's time I just accept the finality of Emblem Makai existing. I also think that they're likely to put Alm there, and you might be thinking, well, like, why don't they just Hector? Why don't they just put Hector? Why isn't Hector there? They haven't doubled on attuned heroes, I don't think. I know that they are frequently doing combos if they run double limited. So it's like a combination of attuned and rearmed, or attuned and aided, or rearmed and aided, or something like that. I don't think they've ever run to doubled attuned, which is curious. But I think they're much more likely to put Alm down there alongside the new emblem and Sakura, and just make colorless absolutely banging, and then just kind of make red for what it is. A legendary hero who's due for remix within a year. An emblem hero who has had his time in the spotlight. And then a good tank that has happened recently. But I don't even know if Roth is as good as like some of the Fallen armors that we've had recently. I'm not sure what the breakdown is for that. And then blue is what it is. I don't know what blue is, to be blunt and honest with you. As far as July goes, I'm stretching a limb here. Okay, we're gonna try a 60-day preview. But I think we're probably getting a previous banner return on blue. Something that happened in June. Something. Followed by a new Ibaba. And then probably a double mythic Balder Hothor. It's a 60-day preview. Take it for what it's worth. I think that a combination of that could happen. If we don't get a double mythic, I could very much see them just slapping Hector on there, calling it a day. I don't know. A lot's going to happen in July. Mainly from the mid-book perspective, in the Tempest Trials stuff that goes on during the summer, and just a lot of confusion. Okay, so take that with a little bit of skepticism, if you will. But that is my best guess. Some 8 weeks out from where we currently are. Next up, let's talk about the Hall of Forms very briefly, since we technically already mentioned it. It's been cleaned up, right? All the messiness of May is gone now. All those potentials, and it was just Byleth. Crazy. But we are now looking forward on to Engage. That is happening next month, and wouldn't you know it, Legendary Lear is coming back. Very sus. And then also the Revival banner, right? This is, I mean, it's a rotation. They may inject another round of Legendary Revivals in August for the half anniversary. I don't know. I feel like they're probably going to limit this specifically just to annual updates. But I could be wrong. But I think it's probably an annual thing. So, Erica, Ephraim, Hector, all coming back in June for the month. So, do with that what you will. And of course, let's talk about special heroes real quick. The double special banner has been a nightmare. This last one, this most recent one, not so bad though. I think we're finally back on track. I did a lot of cleanup actually over here on the far left side. So I love that. Personally, it's very satisfying. It would be more satisfying if we didn't have a colorless option in the partials, because then it would be 3-2-1-0. But we live in the worst timeline, and we can't have nice things. So it is 3-2-1-1 forever. Outside of that, they could potentially breach into anywhere up to like Devotion banner, maybe even Spring, honestly, but I feel like there's so much there already that they probably would only take it into Devotion. And the reason I say that is they could just kind of skip Hortensia, and they might do that because all I want is to have Inheritable Ice Lock, so that I can play Ice Lock with the rest of my friends and have fun, but I can't do that. But they may end up throwing in Hathran and Rhea in a double duo colorless bombshell. Okay? Which means they would also technically skip Marissa. Sorry, Marissa fans. But outside of that, I feel like the red and the blue picks are pretty straightforward. They need to rerun Thea very soon. her literal rerun banner for that event is gonna happen before she hits a double special, which is crazy. So I think they almost have to do that. They may piece in the 4-star goat Tana from New Year's. They may pop her in there. I don't know. But I feel like overall this is the pick. I don't think they would run Neathogre, New Year Neathogre alongside a 4-star. I feel like that would be like shooting themselves in the foot a little bit. But again, anybody up into Devotion, I would say, is probably fair game. So if anybody in the partials or the first 2 columns of upcoming are of interest to you, maybe wait that out. Waiting is always the best strategy. And finally, let's take a look at remixed options. As promised, we are getting there. For you eagle-eyed viewers, perhaps you may have noticed that I did not have Veil or Freyr on the Legendary banner. Reason for that being Freyr's remixed threshold is being rerun after August of 2025. He is coming back in February, which is why he's down in the February 26th remix with a little crown next to him, because he has the potential to be remixed. Pretty decent chance, honestly, since the announcement pool he would likely be thrust into is in August, and that's, you know, a fair amount of months out. Someone who's not likely to be rerun or remixed immediately in the rerun is Veil, who was there in March. I think her threshold was actually February, so just the month prior to that. So she is likely in the remix pool, but not likely to be immediately remixed, if that makes sense. But she's down there with the crown on, all the same, because she has the potential for that. And outside that, I think, honestly, it's a little bit dicey, I think, getting past the first of next year. I think anything January onward down there is subject to change. I think the likelihood of September, October, and November are pretty strong. I think July is basically a lock at this point. But whatever they announce in August could mix up some stuff. So just be aware. Things are very subject to change over the next 90 days. Take that for what you will. Nothing else has really been too terribly updated here. Just kind of looking forward to some new remixes, which you are guaranteed, I think, to get the Bat Lady and finally Nana in July. I don't know how many skips she has had, but Nana is by far well past her date of remix at this point, I think. And of course, here is the total tracker. I will obviously be posting that on socials. So if you follow me over on Blue Sky, you can grab it. I'll also have it in my Discord, which is a little bit of chatting, mostly notifications. So you can check that out if you are ever in a live stream, !Discord to get in there. But beyond that, this is everything. This is kind of the format I'm hoping to continue with in the future. I hope. Until something happens in August, and then I get to redo it all again. But for right now, this is where we're at. This is our home. If you found it helpful, leave a like. Let me know in the comments. And I hope I will see you in the next one.